Hello gentlemen, welcome back. I'm Dating Coach Naz, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 3 new habits that I would like you to implement in your daily routine, okay? And the reason why I want to talk about this right now is number one, I've meditated on it because what I do is I literally sit with myself and ask, what wants to emerge out of me? What is going to really help men out there? Okay. And so that's what I do sometimes. And that's why I came up with this idea. But secondly, the reason is because a lot of times what I notice with men is they're waiting for their external to change. One day I'm going to meet her. It's just because I haven't met the right woman yet. And you're just waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, which is great. I mean, sometimes, surrendering and allowing the universe to meet you halfway, 100%, I agree with that. But the one thing that is missing, but I just lost my voice, missing is internal work. It's accountability, is knowing what you have done in the past and stop repeating those patterns. Because a lot of the times we have, fear of rejection. We don't really love ourselves. We have so many different things that holds us back and keeps us stuck instead of us becoming the best version of ourselves. And I speak about this, and I'm going to make another video on this, where a lot of us have addictions, right? We could even be not just addicted to alcohol or drugs. It could be an addiction to negativity, an addiction to needing validation. Otherwise, you don't feel safe in your body. And so we have to understand that these are all addictions that we have to break out from, or they're going to always have a hold on us, okay, as human beings. And if you're a leader, you can't have any of these addictions, because as a leader, you're always going to be growing. You're always going to be evolving. And as a leader, you don't have that space to make an excuse. Oh, it's her fault. It's the dating apps. No, as a leader, you have to take accountability for how you're showing up in life and what you are doing in order to create this reality for yourself. Okay. Sometimes, of course, things happen and you can't really, you can't really control those things, right? That's just life. But it's all about your perception, how you perceive things to happen. If a relationship doesn't work out, if somebody cheats on you, okay, it's horrible. I get that. But also, why did that happen? Did we, miss out on some of the red flags at the very beginning? And again, this is just from the information that I get from working with men on a daily basis, that majority of men that have been cheated on, and I'm not talking about all men, I'm just talking about the men that I've worked with, they always say, that there were red flags that I missed out at the very beginning. I overgave, wanted to please her, and I bought her this and I bought her that to show her my value. And the root of all of that is a lack of self-love. Okay, so I'm just saying that sometimes we have to look at ourselves in the mirror for really who we are, instead of just, remaining in this kind of like victim bubble and feeling comfortable. Okay, so that's, anyways, I can never do an intro. It's like my weakness over here. But okay, so now let's talk about 3 things in the morning that I would like you to implement. Okay. Now, the first thing, by the way, when I see all of these things aren't going to be easy to do, okay? I'm not here to give you some easy stuff. I'm here to really challenge you and make you like the best version of yourself, because what's the point then, right? So the first thing in the morning that I want you to do is and again, that can go really detailed in the morning and nighttime routine because I'm obsessed with it and I love talking about it. But before I even get into this, I want you to know that our routine is great, but also some days we're sick, right? Some days we just need to be with ourselves and relax, and we don't want to do the routine, and that's okay. So I want to also mention that you're not a failure if you don't, if you skip the routine one day because you just need to be with yourself, all right? So I just want to say that, because I do feel also with in regards to morning routine and nighttime routine, or whatever routine in general, there's a lot of guilt, like, oh, if you don't follow this 5 a.m. routine, then you're not good enough, which is not true. Of course you're good enough, but if you want to grow and if you want to find love and you want to be successful, I would highly stress that you get on with this. So the first thing that I would recommend, okay, as somebody who used to wake up at 2 p.m., young hungover, eat McDonald's, like I had one of the worst routines ever. And that also enabled me to be a super anxious person. I was super fearful of living. I never took any risks because I was so scared. And what I realized, it was nothing to do with me. I mean, it was my past, all of those kind of things, but at the same time, it was also what I was consuming. The news, the bad food, the alcohol, the drugs, all of those kind of things played a big role in my anxiety and my fear mongering ways of thinking. So the first thing that I want you to do, wake up at 4 a.m. Yes, you heard it right. And I'm sure somebody over there is getting very annoyed with me. That's okay. I don't care. 4 a.m., not 5 a.m. I want you to wake up at 4 a.m. And the reason is because, I mean, there's so many different reasons. But number one, you're awake before nobody else is. So you have the time to do more than most people can. Also at 4 a.m., you're really able to reprogram. I mean, to be honest, you can reprogram your subconscious mind at any time. But again, I'm going to stick with my suggestion of 4 a.m., not 5 a.m., not 6 a.m., 4 a.m. Okay? Because what I've noticed is that a lot of us spend most of our times with people, TV, work. We don't spend enough time with ourselves, okay? And I don't think 10 minutes is really enough, to be quite honest. So I'm going to stick with that. I'm not changing it. So 4 a.m., this is the time that I wake up as well, 4 a.m. And it's not because I have a daughter. It's generally what the time I wake up. At 4 a.m., I've received the best ideas, the best visions in my head. And I've, actually created these things, which is super exciting, which I'm going to share with you as well. But this is the key time, 4 a.m. Okay, I know, I mean, maybe next year I'm going to go at 3 a.m. I don't know. I just will stop sleeping. Maybe I'll just do that. But for now, I will stick it with 4 a.m. Secondly, I would like you to say these 3 things. And by the way, I got these 3 things from Michael Beckwith. He is phenomenal. And so these are the things that he came up with. So I don't want to mention that. I don't want to steal his work. So what is going to be super powerful to say in the morning is that I am grateful. And by the way, this is as soon as you wake up. You're not doing this after 5 hours. You're doing this as soon as you wake up, okay? I'm grateful. And again, when you say I'm grateful, usually you say, oh, I'm grateful for this house. I'm grateful. I want you to just be grateful that you're alive. So I'm grateful to be alive. Secondly, what he says is that I surrender. Actually, you know what? I should have done this in like a different color. I just wanted to change the color. And then secondly, what you're going to say is I surrender to, and again, you can choose, what you want to say. I like to choose I surrender to God. You can say love, peace. I surrender to the divinity. I surrender to divine intelligence, whatever that, comes to you and feels most authentic and resonates with you. You can say that I surrender, because at the end of it, as much as we'd like to think we have a lot of control in our lives, we really don't, okay? So I surrender. And after that, you're going to say, I am available to the energy and strength to handle anything that comes my way. And the reason why I like this is because most of the times we have our to-do list or things we're going to go through, throughout our day, which is, normal for all of us. But what we don't realize, or what we don't put in our calendar, are things that are going to, show up unexpectedly. You have to gather your patience and strength in order to handle those things that just come out of nowhere. So let's just summarize. You say, I am grateful to be alive. So you're just grateful for existing in this moment in time in the universe. I surrender. After that, you say, I surrender to God. I surrender to love. I surrender to peace. And then lastly, I'm available to the energy and strength to handle anything that comes my way. So I want you guys to give these 2 a shot. I know they're very, I guess, different, and maybe you didn't expect me to say these things, but I want you to try this out at least for 22 days. I mean, I anything that I tell you to do, like meditation, journaling, you can't just do it for 21 days. You have to do it for the rest of your life, to be honest. And I know that sucks to hear for some people, like, oh, I thought I could just do it for a couple of days and I'm great. No, it's something you have to do. It's like part of your lifestyle, even eating healthy and going to the gym. You can't just do it once a week or, for 21 days and then you're back eating McDonald's and not looking after yourselves. It just doesn't work that way. It's your mental health that you're really working on, which is like the most important. And lastly, I would like you to get a morning routine that you follow, regardless of what is happening in your day. Even if you don't have 1 hour or how much ever time you have, 20 minutes, you can get it done within 20 minutes, okay? And so the first thing that I would recommend, which I talk about, most of my videos, is meditation, okay? So because if you are a beginner, of course, start off small, 5-10 minutes, so you don't feel overwhelmed. It's like when I go to the gym, and if I feel like, I have to spend 2 hours at the gym, like I don't want to go to the gym anymore. But if I say to myself, you know what, I'm going to stay 30 minutes. It doesn't feel so overwhelming to me. So figure out something that makes you feel like, yeah, I'm excited to do this, okay? So meditation really depends on yourself. But literally all you are doing is shutting all screens, all distractions, and you're sitting with your little self by yourself and just closing your eyes and taking a deep breath, okay? That's literally what meditation is about. There's one that I recently found out, and again, this might be people might think this is a bit religious or whatever, but there's a chant that I found recently, and it's like I literally feel like I'm with God or something. It's like the weirdest thing ever. I'm gonna maybe put it down below. It's called they're basically chanting Om, and it's funny, I know this is so random. I feel like nobody is gonna get what I'm saying, but usually it's Om, right? It's like Om, which is Om, Shanti, peace. But this is different. This hits different because apparently there's a science behind AUM, Om. Anyways, so I'm going to put it down below. And when I do this, oh my God, I feel like I'm like vibrationally like rising or something. It's like the most amazing mantra and meditation that I've used recently. I'm going to put it down below. And there's another one that I also recommend, which is the self-love meditation for men. It's only 10 minutes long. And it is amazing because it makes me feel like when I first did it, I cried because it put me in a state of, it kind of healed one of my wounds that I had, which I'm not going to get into, but it's such a good meditation. Like you have to try to at least put some action, like put some work into calming yourself down and just having that peace of mind in the very beginning, because it's almost like you're priming your mind for, and there's somebody who cuts you off on the road or somebody who gives you the middle finger. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you. You're able to not react so quickly. Instead, you're able to just take a minute, take a moment, and then respond in a way that doesn't change and alter your chemicals in your body. So meditation is one of my biggest ones. I started meditating, I think I was like, it was before I had my daughter. So it's been about, I think like 5 to 6 years. So the next one would be this is my favorite one, which is journaling. I am such a big advocate for journaling because it's literally a form of therapy that you don't need to pay anybody for. You literally can just journal by yourself and hold yourself accountable. Like you could do this for yourself. It's the best medicine, best gift that you can give to yourself. You just have to be willing to do it and willing to be vulnerable enough to share your emotions and how you're truly feeling, not having that facade and mask on. You're able to share, you know what? I actually miss my ex a little bit and I need to heal that wound a little bit more. Or maybe I should have pushed myself a little bit better and now I'm going to change my life and I want to create a routine, or I'm going to create a business, or whatever it is that you really want to do, okay? So journaling is that vehicle to do that. It's amazing. And last but not the least, I would recommend to get a workout in, okay? So if you're not somebody who goes to the gym, find some weights at Walmart or something, and oh, there's a little bird, sorry. Find, some weights, some elastic bands, get a workout in, because here you're dealing with your mind, your body, and your soul. And one other thing I used to do is also reading a book, but now I do my reading at nighttime. So these are the 3 things I would like you to start implementing in your morning routine. Again, have a journal or whatever, notes on your phone, and put this in your notes and actually practice it. Don't just watch these videos to watch them and, oh, I'm inspired. There's actually a great parable. Oh my God, hopefully that's how you say it. Parable that I heard recently in a podcast. Oh, I can't remember his name now. But anyways, he basically was speaking about this where there's a parable where they say, sometimes what we do is we're so scared to dive in to the work, to the unknown, getting a therapist or getting a coach or doing something that is outside of our box. So we're so scared to dive in that what we do is we create a cafe at the hill. So what we do is we get into this cafe right next to the cliff, and we sit there and we're like about to jump, but we're like, oh, but let me just have a little drink. Let me just have a coffee. You have the coffee, and then you're like, actually, you know what? I'm going to have a little sandwich. You have a sandwich. You know what? I'm actually going to have some dessert. You do all of, everything around what you're actually meant to do, okay? So hopefully that made sense. So make sure that whenever, you're like, I need some help, I need to do, put this work into myself, actually do it. That's the most important part. And even if you don't do all of this, just start with one. If you can't wake up at 4 a.m., I get it, I understand. Another trick I would also give you, let's say you're somebody that wakes up at 6:30 every morning. So instead of course, going that far, which is something I do, I'm just like a 0 to 100 kind of person. But if you're not like that, which is completely fine, what you could do is you can start off small. So every day or every week, instead of 6:30, you wake up at 6, and then you do 5:30, 4:30. By the end of it, you won't even know that it was such a drastic change. It's just a part of your lifestyle that you wake up at 4. Okay, so these are all things that we say to ourselves. Oh, it's so difficult to have a routine. Routines don't work, and just try it and see what happens. Okay. Why am I talking like I'm ending this video? I have a whole nother part. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Get into a sport, go to a class, whatever it is. My last one is get a hobby. So get into a sport, join a club, join a friends group, do something that you've never done before. Get into a painting class or something. Like, do something that you wanted to try for so long, but you've stopped yourself because you think that, oh, I'm so busy and I don't have time, but you have been too busy watching TV. So if you just cut that out and you add something at the end of your day, for those people that, maybe they don't want to do any of these things, you can change it up with doing like a sport or go to a dance class or whatever. The next one, which I also got from Michael Beckwith, I'm sorry, I had to add this into the routine, is when you're in bed, I would like you to forgive yourself if you made some mistakes, if you made some blunders, if you spent too much money, whatever the hell you did. Forgive yourself, okay? And others. So other people in your life that have caused you some sort of a disruption, maybe a friend that haven't given you a call back, whatever it is, forgive. And when you do this, you're releasing that energy that is stuck in your body. Let it go, because really, it doesn't matter. And the best thing that, Mel Robbins always says is like, when somebody shows you, if somebody doesn't want to spend time with you, if they don't want to make an effort with you, if they don't want to reciprocate, I can never say that word, let them do it. Why chase somebody? Why run after them? They don't want your time. They don't want to spend time with you. And it has nothing to do with you. Sometimes I feel like the universe, God, just removes them from your life because you're not energetically aligned anymore. You're just not, you both are not on the same page anymore, okay? And it doesn't mean that you and her are, are bad or different or whatever. It just means you're not aligned. And so sometimes you just have to let people go. And sometimes you don't even need to have a conversation. You just let it be organic and let it flow. So forgive yourself and others. That's one thing that I really loved. And I implement this in my daily life as well. Forgiveness, sometimes we think, oh, it's this big word, like, oh, I have to forgive them. But it really has to be, and this is what I've learned, in my relationships, it has to be a constant state of attitude, not just something you do once a year around the fire, which is what I recommend as well. That's a whole different technique. And lastly, I would like you to rewire. So what this means, first of all, I would like you to do some research on a mind movie. I actually have this template that I've created, which is going to be in my course that I'm launching very soon. But if you don't want to get that, and if you don't want to wait too long, research what a mind movie is. It literally is like a vision board, but it has come to life. Okay, it is such a game changer, and I use it and I love it. And so what I would recommend is right before you go to bed, this is your time to reprogram your subconscious mind. A lot of the times, as soon as we go to bed, we're thinking about, oh, my partner did this, or this person, how dare they do this? You're thinking about all the negatives, all the problems, and then we're expecting to live an amazing, abundant life the next day. It just can't work that way. You have to be able to reprogram your mindset. So the first thing that I would mention is to create your own mind movie and watch that. So I'm just going to write mind movie to make it simple. So watch your mind movie at nighttime. Actually, I'm so sorry. I totally made a mistake. I need you to watch the mind movie at nighttime, and then the first thing right in the morning, because that is your time to reprogram your subconscious mind. So you watch this in the morning time at 4 a.m. and also at nighttime whenever you go to bed, which it should be, again, an appropriate time. I don't want you to not get any sleep. I also want you to get proper amount of sleep, 7 to 8 hours of sleep, which I should not be talking about because I'm the worst at that. But anyways, that's a whole different topic. Then I would like you to have a meditation going on in the background. You can either have a meditation or you can have a subliminal playing in the background. And this little thing that probably sounds so silly to people, it's actually what has changed my damn life. Like, I've become so much more disciplined. I listen to the subliminal about being disciplined, and it's just crazy how, one day I'm like, I'm like scrolling on my phone and I'm just totally being unfocused. And the next day, it's like my body, it's like I can't even explain it. It's like my body knows I need to move on to the next thing. I can't be sitting here, and your body's just so much more aware. Anyways, I can go on and on about subliminals, but it has literally changed my life, and I'm always going to be a huge advocate for subliminals. So you can either listen to subliminals at night, or recently, again, I might put that video in this in the comment section. It's basically a meditation to manifest, okay? And it's just amazing because it just gets you in this trance state, and it's been one of my favorites recently. And then lastly, right before you go to sleep, I want you to visualize yourself living the life that you have always wanted. Okay, so whatever this timeline is, okay, either let's say you don't have any children and you've always wanted a family in a big home, traveling to Mexico, like playing in the pool and just having a great old time, and maybe even having so much money and just being so abundant that you're able to invite your family and you have this huge trip that you have paid for. It's like all of these things you need to think about, and you can create. You have the power to create this in your life, okay? But a lot of the times we don't think that big because we have been programmed in such a way that it wants to keep us small. The distractions, the addictions, all of these things, they want to keep us small. So let's just get out of this. This is my main dream and vision for you guys. So basically, I would like you to visualize how, what you see for your future. And again, if you don't know what that is, because sometimes people ask me like, oh, no, not now, but back in the day, what do you want out of your life? And I was like, I don't know what I want out of my life. Like, I don't know where I see myself. That's okay. You just have to sit with yourself. And that is why I always get into meditation and make sure that you ground yourself to ask your soul what is really trying to emerge out of me. Because half the time we want things like a Lamborghini, we want a house, we want a private jet. Why? Because I look great, because then people love me. Yeah, but then what if you just do the inner work on yourself and you love yourself, and then you don't need these things? And maybe your purpose is much bigger than you're giving yourself credit for, right? A lot of the times your purpose could be to help sick children or to help people that have disability or whatever that purpose is, but it's getting diluted because you're so focused on your ego. You're living out of your ego mind, right? And that is why healing your wounds, meditation, all these things, we don't just say it because it sounds cute. There's a meaning behind it, okay? So again, before I go on and on about this, I want you to give these three a shot. So basically, no screens 3 hours before bedtime. You are going to do all of these things. So you're going to either talk to people, connect with people, go in nature, read a book, get a hobby. Most of us don't have hobbies and don't have passions and all these kind of things. We think it's immature to still dance or still go and paint or whatever. It's like, no, this is your inner child trying to live their best life and try to, something is trying to emerge out of you and you're blocking it. So you have to allow your inner child, whatever that passion was, to come out and release, because that is literally your key to where you need to go. That is your vision. Secondly, forgive yourself and others in bed. And lastly, rewire your subconscious mind. So you're going to be watching a mind movie. And by the way, the mind movie is 2 minutes long. Some could be 1 minute. Mine is about 2 minutes. I know I like a lot of, I have big dreams and big goals, I like that about me. So mind movie, subliminals or meditation, and visualize what kind of vision you want. And this is the last thing you're going to do before you go to sleep. Okay, so as you guys know, I can go on and on about morning and nighttime routine, and you need to put this sort of scent. Like, I can go on about it, but I'm sure people have already clicked off. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I really want to make this to add some value onto the content, YouTube or whatever, and really make a difference in your life. That is literally my purpose here. I want to make a difference. I want to create an impact. I want you to live the best version of yourself, your highest potential, because you really are a spiritual being having a human experience. So you have to make sure that you're enjoying this experience and not suffering in silence. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share this video with somebody who needs it. Also, do not forget, I have a new course that is launching very soon. If you guys want to get a free coaching session for 1 hour, you got to join the waitlist. In order to join the waitlist, you got to go on my Instagram account and send me a message, magnetic. And as soon as you do that, you get on the waitlist, and you also get a free coaching session, which I think is pretty great. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I'm going to see you guys in my next video.